What if I told you that keeping too many people on your email list could actually be hurting your business? Yep, those subscribers who never open, never click, and haven't engaged in months, they're not just dead weight, they're dragging down your deliverability, costing you money, and blocking your most loyal customers from seeing your emails. In this episode, I'm sharing why it's time to stop treating your email list like a trophy case and start treating it like the living, breathing marketing tool it is. I'll talk about how to spot disengaged subscribers, what to do before letting them go, and why this mindset shift can unblock better performance, deeper connection, and way less stress. Plus, be sure to stick around to the end of the segment as I'll tell you how to access my free Mother's Day jewelry marketing toolkit. Inside, you'll get an exact blueprint on how to finally nail the Mother's Day promo this year. I'm Larissa Werstiak, and for the last 8 years, my women-run marketing agency, Joy Joya, has been helping jewelry brands thrive. I'm here to help you toss aside the one-size-fits-all playbook and create a unique marketing strategy so your brand can shine in a sea of sparkle. All right, let's jump in, sparklers. Today's episode might feel a little spicy, a little bold, maybe a little uncomfortable, but trust me, it's one you need to hear if you're serious about leveling up your email marketing. I'm talking about letting go. Specifically, letting go of email subscribers who are just not that into you. You know the ones. They signed up for your list a while ago, maybe through a pop-up on a giveaway. You've sent them your best content, your most thoughtful product updates, your most captivating launch emails, and crickets. No opens, no clicks, no purchases, nada. For many weeks or even many months or more. Now, if that made your stomach drop a little, you're not alone. I hear from jewelry business owners all the time who say things like, "But I worked so hard to grow that list," or "What if they do come back eventually?" or "Doesn't a bigger list mean more sales?" It's natural to want to hang on, but one of the hardest pills to swallow about email marketing is that holding on to subscribers who aren't engaging with your emails is actually hurting you and more than you think. So I'm breaking down why cleaning your email list is one of the smartest things you can do for your business, how disengaged subscribers drag down your deliverability and open rates, how often you should assess list health and what to do before saying goodbye, real-world examples of how list pruning has improved performance for brands I've worked with, and how to do it with confidence and care without spiraling into the "but what if I lose sales" anxiety. You're gonna walk away with clarity, strategy, and a fresh perspective on what email marketing is really about, which is building connections and not collecting contacts. Not everyone who signs up is meant to stay. As I said, an email list is not a trophy case. It's not about the biggest number. It's about the right people. Think about it just like dating. Just because someone agreed to a first date with you doesn't mean you're meant to build a life together. If they ghost you after meeting for drinks, well, that sucks, but it's not a reflection on your worth. It just means they're not your person, and you're not going to continue talking to them even though you had that initial connection. And similarly, if you keep emailing someone who maybe at first was interested, but then isn't interested, or they've moved on, or whatever, your emails are going to start to land in spam folders. And then even your engaged subscribers might stop seeing those emails. It's like you're being ghosted by the algorithm itself. Bigger is not better when it comes to email marketing. I've seen it firsthand with my own eyes with jewelry brands who have resisted list cleaning for too long, or maybe they just haven't done it in a while or they don't know how. We come into these lists and we see really poor open rates. We see poor click-through rates. And even their best campaigns, the ones that they think would be the most engaging, that they put the most time into, are not performing anymore. And worst of all, the hardest thing is that This can be very difficult to come back from when your emails begin landing in spam, and they will if most of your email list is disengaged. Email inbox providers like Gmail, Outlook, and Yahoo are paying attention to how people interact with emails that come from your sender email address. And so if a large number of people receiving those emails are not opening them regularly or engaging with them through clicks, those inbox providers are going to start to assume that your messages are unwanted, and they're going to start putting them in the spam folder. And again, once that happens, your sender reputation takes a hit. And the people that actually do engage with your emails and want to see them, even they will start getting your emails in their spam folder or not delivered at all. And again, that's a really hard place to come back from if you don't address it in a prompt way. So keeping unengaged subscribers doesn't just hurt your metrics, it can actually sabotage your relationship with the people who do care. And let's not forget, you're also paying to keep these ghost subscribers on your list, especially if you use Klaviyo, because Klaviyo charges for active profiles. And so not only are you dragging down the performance of your email, but you are spending money on people who don't even want to be there. Why would you do that? So how to assess and prune your list without panicking. I'm not saying you should go on a spree deleting subscribers today, but it is time to take an honest look, especially if you've never done this before, or it's been more than, say, 3 to 6 months since you've done this. So here's what I recommend. First, you want to segment your unengaged subscribers. Most email platforms have a way to create a segment based on people who haven't opened and haven't clicked in X number of days. I usually recommend 90 or 120 days as a baseline, but this really depends on how often you're sending emails. For example, if you haven't sent an email in 90 days, then you really can't do a disengaged segment based on 90 days because there hasn't been anything for anyone to engage with. So actually, if you haven't sent emails in a while, it's good to first get in the habit of sending consistently and then create a segment of unengaged subscribers to see who is no longer engaging. Then once you have your segment, number 2, you're going to run a re-engagement campaign. So before you say goodbye, give them one last chance to opt in again. You can say something like, "We noticed you haven't opened our emails in a while. If you still want to hear from us, click here to stay on the list." And then the button can take them to your update preferences form, and there they have a chance to change their email address, because sometimes people change email addresses, or they can unsubscribe if they choose to do so. Keep it warm, kind, and aligned with your brand voice. And number 3, respect the silence and don't take it personally. If they don't engage with that re-engagement email, I want you to let them go. I would encourage you to suppress or archive them. You're making space for people who do want to be there, saving money, improving your list health, ensuring your emails end up in inboxes. So what happens after you clean your list? You know what I see every single time a brand prunes their list? Open rates go up, click rates improve, emails stop ending up in spam folders, and confidence returns, because then you know that you're talking to people who want to hear from you. And most of the time, their Klaviyo bill goes down or their email marketing bill goes down. And that's always very nice. Then you're not shouting into the void, you're having a real conversation with a community that cares, and that's where you can really make magic with email marketing. After you've done this exercise, you obviously want to do maintenance moving forward. So you don't have to obsessively prune your list, but a seasonal review is smart. So at the very least, do this quarterly. Make sure you are also segmenting your engaged subscribers. So keep track of those people that are the most engaged on your email list, and you consider sending them segmented emails, because that will help your deliverability even more if those people that always respond, that always click, are clicking even more on additional campaigns. And set expectations from the start with your subscribers. That's why a welcome email or a welcome series is so important, because you kind of let them know, like, what do you email about, how often, what can they expect from being on the list, and that way they're less likely to ghost you later. Also, use double opt-ins, requiring that subscribers are confirming their subscription, because a lot of times with a single opt-in, when someone just signs up without having to confirm, some of those people are not as serious. The double opt-in means this person really wants to be on your list, and that will really help you keep your list clean. You'll still get disengaged subscribers that way also, but it's another safeguard. And another thing, if you're a little more advanced with email marketing and you feel comfortable with automations, you can automate this and create what's called a sunset flow. So this is an automated email sequence that gently reaches out to subscribers who haven't engaged for a while, and it gives them a chance to stay on your list or unsubscribe, so that this is happening all the time in the background without you having to remember doing it manually like once a quarter. This is a great way to let go of disengaged subscribers, again, without you having to think too much about it. The mindset shift here is that your list is a relationship rather than a Rolodex. If you're a young person, you might not even know what that reference is, but it's easy to get attached to numbers, especially in a world where grow your list is treated like the ultimate goal. But the goal of email marketing is not a giant list. It's to have a loyal, healthy one. And the people who want to hear from you are out there. Focus on them and let go of the rest with confidence that what you're doing is building something stronger. I've seen some crazy results from cleaning lists to the point that, like, it's kind of shocking. One of our most extreme cases, we pruned a list from about 20,000 down to 1,500 because it hadn't been cleaned in a very long time. And we inherited this list without fully knowing like where all these people even came from, what the history was there. We gave them a few different chances to confirm their engagement and then decided on this like core group of people that was engaged. And that's a scary thing to make that extreme of a jump. Like, I don't even think anyone listening to or watching this podcast would even have to do that much list cleaning. And what we saw at the end of that, with the 1,500 people and now growing and kind of rebuilding, there was better email marketing performance with that small dedicated list than there was with a list of 20,000, which if you don't have 20,000 subscribers, I bet you'd be like, dang, I wish I had that many. But it doesn't matter if those people are not engaging with you. So that's the most extreme example. And I saw with my own eyes how it was not only okay, but better when we trimmed that much of the list. So your action step this week is to create a disengaged subscriber segment inside your email platform. Just take a look, set up that segment, peek at the data, how many people are in there versus your whole list. So what percentage is disengaged? And then if it's a significant amount, you'll plan a re-engagement campaign. And even if you're not ready to say goodbye today, seeing the numbers can really help you get comfortable with the idea of cleaning things up. And if you really need help writing that re-engagement email, feel free to DM me at JoyJoyOnMarketing. I'll cheer you on as you shed what's holding you back. And don't forget, for all of you who have made it this far into the episode, we have our Mother's Day Jewelry Marketing Toolkit. It's free to download and still available. It's packed with resources to help you build a thoughtful, profitable promotion. You'll get customizable email templates, a launch checklist, social media ideas, SEO keywords, and more. Head to myjoydeck.com/mothers-day. That link's going to be in the show notes for you to click and easily get to that page. And I'm really excited for you to check out that guide. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.